Hello everyone, Positron here with an update video. I figured I would make an update and talk about a few things, even though I'm usually pretty bad at this sort of thing. But I was going to do this last week, I didn't get around to it, but there's a number of things I want to talk about in terms of the channel, what we're up to, where we're going, what's being played, all that kind of stuff. And so I thought I would just put on some FTL music, which is kind of one of my go-tos, and we'll talk about a few things. So, well, I just have my coffee here too. So one of the things I think to talk about first is Horizon Zero Dawn. I started playing this on the channel on my PS4 through the Elgato, and it's been a learning experience, to say the least. Will it be continuing on the channel is probably the main question there, and the answer to that is no. And it's not because I don't like the game, it's because I think I like the game too much. And you're like, well, that's a weird thing. Essentially, I was looking back at Fallout 4, and Fallout 4 was a really good lesson in games that I can and cannot play on the channel. Not that I shouldn't, but Fallout 4 didn't do well on the channel at all. In fact, I lost a ton of subscribers during that time. And that was kind of a mix of, it's different than a lot of the things I play on the channel, and everybody else was doing it. And my format for it wasn't that great. It was a learning experience. I loved the game, of course. But as an open world game, that series went on for 60, 70 episodes. And Horizon is something I could see going on for like 100 episodes, 150 episodes. Realistically speaking, and that's even going with like 45-minute, half an hour, hour-long videos. So I mean, we'd realistically be looking at Horizon videos going for like a third of the year, half the year. And by that time, there's gonna be so many other games out that I'll want to play. And at the same time, I don't want to just record, like 8 hours straight of Horizon. Or I don't want to go so far ahead. Things like that. It's just a really weird format to record. I might still stream it here and there, but it's not going to be a full playthrough. It might just be one of those things like, I just want to hang out, and so we're going to stream some Horizon as I run around and kill dinosaurs and things. So I know it's going to disappoint some of you. I apologize for that. It was a good experiment to learn. And the other thing, too, is that I was a little frustrated with, and I know this didn't really bother anyone that was watching it, or at least nobody that was vocal about it. But the quality comes across as very low for a game like that. On my end, local recording side, it looks spectacular. It's fantastic. It's 1:1, looks perfect. But by the time it gets re-encoded, or it goes through YouTube or Twitch compression, it just gets murdered. It just looks really grainy. It looks really blurry. Twitch doesn't handle the movement very well, so on and so forth. I know that didn't bother a lot of people and they said it looked good, but it bugs me. It won't keep me from doing things like that in the future, but, that's the state of things right now. So, again, if you're looking forward to Horizon, which, to be honest, not a lot of people were watching it, again, because everybody's doing it. I apologize for that, but, might come back as a stream sometime. I'll still be playing it, so if you just want to chit-chat with me about it or something like that, hit me up on Twitter or something. No spoilers, please. Yeah, hit me up on Twitter, send me a message on YouTube, whatever. You just want to chit-chat about the game. I'm more than willing to do that. It's always a good time talking with people. So, that's the state of that right now. I didn't want people to be wondering, where did this go? Why did this stop happening? Without any sort of notification or words or anything like that, so... That's that. Let's move on, get to the next things before I just talk about Horizon the whole time. And I think another note about that, in terms of open world games, what else have I been playing? Do I like those games? I actually just played Nier Automata in its entirety over the past, 4 or 5 days. And that game is fantastic. Not really open world, but it's got kind of a loose, game structure. And, I sunk 40 hours into that in, a matter of fewer days there probably should have been. That was wonderful. But it was another game where I spent a lot of time wandering around. You know, it doesn't make for good video content if I'm just wandering about for like an hour straight, not really accomplishing anything. I'm having fun, but for people to watch it is kind of like, all right, well, you gonna do something, dude, or we just gonna wander around killing robots all day? So that's that. Let's move on. As soon as I get my transition working here. Working with the studio setup here. Hollow Knight. So what is there to say about Hollow Knight? Hollow Knight's not going anywhere. Finishing that game. I don't know yet if I'm going to go 100% on camera. I usually try to. It'll depend. It'll depend on what the cleanup process is like. Usually what I end up doing with these games is that I'll do as much as I can on my own. And then for like a cleanup video, I'll find someone's map. And we'll just run around, we'll scrap everything. Or as many things as possible. So I'll probably end up doing that with Hollow Knight. Not only has it become easily one of my favorite Metroidvanias in recent times, but it's also done really well on the channel. People are really loving watching it. It's got a ton of comments, a lot of views. You know, for my channel, you know, pretty high views. People were watching like the full video. I know it sounds like a really silly thing, but you know, people are like the retention on it is like super high. Like people are watching every video start to finish at a crazy rate, much higher than a lot of videos actually. So, what else is there to say about Hollow Knight? Oh, Hollow Knight comments. This is actually kind of a funny one. It's something I learned about YouTube last night, basically. Give me one, just take a sip here. Terrible at just like talking for long stretches without actually doing anything. So I learned that YouTube turned off my email notifications for comments, essentially because we crossed a threshold on the channel where I was getting so many comments that YouTube triggered like it's automatically turned this off threshold so that it wouldn't spam me. So like at the time of this video, the past few days, like I thought my Hollow Knight videos bombed. Like I had recorded far ahead. I hadn't been checking YouTube because I'd just been doing other things over the weekend. So I wasn't just checking my community panel on YouTube, and I got literally no notifications about like new comments or anything. So I'm like, oh man. Like, I wonder what happened, you know, like, are people losing interest in the series? And then I just happened to look last night. I had so many comments, which is super cool. Like, that's awesome. And then I felt immediately bad that I was not responding like I normally do. And I was like days behind on that. So my apologies for that. I know that now. Kind of a funny quality problem to have that, you know, we've hit a point where YouTube doesn't want to spam me, so it's turned my stuff off. But hopefully it shouldn't be a problem in the future. Now I just know we're just going to start checking the community panel without being prompted, basically. And we'll go from there. So that's Hollow Knight. Awesome game. People watching the channel have been loving it. Comments are fantastic. Really only good things to say about that. So next up on the list is Dark Souls. The Dark Souls, the last DLC for 3 actually comes out today or tomorrow, which I totally lost track of. In fact, while I have my other window open here, I should look that up. Let's see, Dark Souls 3. Also, mechanical keyboard is something new that I have here. Let's see. I actually don't know what the date is on that. It's the Ring City. What is the release date on that? This is why I should have prepared beforehand. Either way, I think it comes out in the next day or two. March 28th, yeah. So it'll be out. Time of this video, it'll be out tomorrow. Will I be playing that on channel? I think so. Because I'm super into that. But the main reason for this is I've been streaming over the weekends with the Nerdy Dad. We've been doing the co-op stream for Dark Souls. We actually finished that. And will we be doing more co-op streams? Yes, totally. Will we be doing Dark Souls streams? Probably. Basically, we hit this point where we're like, well, now what? We didn't really have a plan going forward. The Dark Souls thing was kind of spur of the moment. When we first started, it was just kind of like, you know, hey man, I've never played Dark Souls before in its entirety. Would you want to come help me out? We can do it on stream. And I said, sure, why not? It'd be cool. And you know, and it's super nice that, like, you know, he'll have me on stream and we can do that. Much appreciated in that aspect. So we were talking last night about, you know, maybe we should do Dark Souls 2 and 3. Why not, right? He's not played those either, so that'd be cool. It's a cool thing kind of stream. It's kind of long form. It's easy kind of just like hang out and chit chat and play it, and people like watching it, so we'll probably be doing that in the next couple weeks. We just gotta figure out a day. My class schedule is a little different, so probably the same day, same time. It'll be Sundays at 9 Eastern. But I'll update when we know more about that. So that's that quick update. As for other co-op things, I don't know yet. I had been talking to the other David. Apparently I do things with Davids exclusively. As I've noticed, there's, you know, David the Nerdy Dad. There's David that I did the Star Tropics 2 series with. There's David from Raw Fury. Yeah, so I was talking to the other David a little while ago. Might still do another series with him if he's around. Haven't gotten to talk to him recently, but we were talking about doing a couple more NES games. So that might happen in the future, but it's just been a crazy release schedule. I've been sick, I've been busy with school, things like that. But, alright, so what else is there going to be? The other one is Flinthook. Flinthook comes out in a few weeks. I think like 3 weeks from now. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to play this on channel. I played it. I actually didn't play it at PAX this year. I realized that when I got home. It was like, this is like one of my #1 things to play again at PAX. And I didn't, like a dummy. But when I played it at PAX last year, I mean, I just instantly fell in love with it. I think I went back to the booth and played the demo 3 times. And it's an action platformer, roguelike, 2D game. It's just fun. I don't really know what more there is to say about it. It's just really fun. And I think it'll make for good content. I think it'll be interesting for people to see. And it's definitely up there on things that, you know, like, this is gonna be played. So that's actually just a quick note about that. And let's see, go back here. There we go. And so what else is there? I want to try to do a couple of quick look videos. Probably Rain World. I don't think I'll do a series on Rain World. Primarily because I'm really bad at it. It's a really cool, really interesting game, but I am super terrible at it. If you're not aware, Rain World is on, I should have put up art here, but it's an action platformer. Well, it's an explorer platformer, I'll say. And with the adorable slug cat, if I can get a screenshot up of it here real quick, like, oh, nope, that's not gonna work. Well, if you haven't seen it before, look it up, basically. That's a terrible way to do that, but yeah, it is. It's an exploration platformer game with this kind of like weird, creepy, cute aesthetic, and it's very cool. I'd like to do a quick look on it, but I don't know if I'll be able to do a series on it. Again, mostly just because it's a pretty difficult game from what I've played so far, and but it's really cool. I think it deserves to be shown. There we go. There's a screenshot of it. Little on the fly editing. But yeah, I think it's cool. I think it needs to be shown. I think more people need to get eyes on it. And so I'll probably do a quick look on that. So that'll be coming probably this week, I would say. It does release tomorrow, I believe. And other than that, I've gotten actually, I think it's their first game, but there's a small indie project that I received an email about, and I really liked it. It was it was a very personal email. Someone like, hey, we check out my game, and I said sure. So should be able to check that out today, and if I like it, I'll make a video about it, get some eyes on it, and so that'll be coming soon too. I'm trying to think of upcoming games, other series going on right now. What other things am I playing right now? I actually played through Blaster Master Zero. I actually almost wish I had seen if I could get the Elgato to pick that up. That was fantastic. If you enjoyed Blaster Master on the NES, this is basically the exact same game, but 100 times better. There's some new events. There's a lot of quality and life improvements in terms of like mapping and a save system and things like that. All the mechanics are just way polished up. Graphics look really nice. Soundtrack, I'm a little hit or miss on. It's a remix soundtrack. It sounds good, but it's not the same. So I mean, that's just kind of nostalgia. But it was fantastic. I loved it. Playing that on the Switch, and played through it in like a few days. It was just kind of like my go-to to pick up and play. I actually played it almost exclusively in handheld mode too, which was interesting. It was kind of like my go-to for I just want to like hang out on the couch or lay in bed and play a game. But yeah, so I played that, and that was awesome. I also played, or I have started playing Breath of the Wild. It's wonderful. Everything I've played so far is just lovely about it. I have Mass Effect Andromeda to play. I haven't gotten to that yet though, but I'll probably start that pretty soon. And of course I'm playing Horizon. I'm trying to think, what else am I playing right now? I mean, I play World of Warcraft, which also eats up time, but I think that's everything for now. But yeah, before this video gets overlong here, that's the update for now. I'm sure there are things I've missed, and if you made it this far, thank you for listening to my stilted conversation. Not my strong suit when it comes to just rambling on here. Yeah, leave some comments, let me know. I don't know. Oh, the last thing I want to talk about, see, and this is why I need better notes. When people had those audio issues, like last week, and people were helping me like figure that out or like giving me feedback on that. Oh, that's super cool. That's one of those things I noticed that like streamers and YouTubers and stuff don't always get. But if you have constructive feedback on like audio, video quality, things like that, that is super, super important. I mean, I guess the lighthearted thing about it is like, don't be a dick about it, like don't be like, hey man, your audio sucks. Like that doesn't help, but people are pointing out like I had a little bit of crackling or like volume levels are a little off. Like that's super helpful. There's a streamer, Bananasaurus Rex. He was big in like speedrunning and stuff. He was doing Breath of the Wild on his stream, and he noticed much later that he was actually streaming it in like super low bitrate, and nobody said anything. So to an extent, the vocal majority there didn't care, and that's fine. But he was kind of bummed out to learn that like it actually been streaming in like super low quality, and he had no idea. It's one of those things, like those things can be really hard to pick up in the moment. So it really helps us if you have like constructive feedback and stuff like that. Especially because like I'm listening to myself the whole time, and I hate going back and watching my own videos. So I do that as little as possible, to be honest. Other than audio checks, but it can be hard to pick up every little thing that might, every little glitch that might happen. But anyway, yeah, I think that's everything. Leave some comments if you have any questions, concerns, you want to say hello. You have suggestions for games, and that's another thing too. Like, if you suggest a game, don't be offended if I don't get to it. In fact, there's a lot of games that people suggest that I end up playing off camera, just to check out. And so chances are, if you recommended a game to me, I have played it, even if it's not on the channel, which is I appreciate that. But yeah, I think that'll do it for now. Thanks for listening to me talk for like 20 minutes, and see you guys soon.